And we are live. Welcome to the live stream where we are here to talk about whatever topics you guys have. I figured I would do a short stream, see if anyone is around. Anyone wants to possibly join the stream. I'll wait for folks to to roll in if they do. No intro music. We are cutting it back to the barest of bones that we possibly can have. It doesn't get any more naked than this, if you will. No intro music because I don't want to get a copyright strike because we lose whatever viewers that we had. And then we have to start all over again. And the numbers look worse, if that's even possible, than they otherwise would have been. So no intro music, which I usually like to do. I floated the idea of actually doing a live stream because this is Mr. GMT's channel and we are on a budget. We are on a very tight budget. So we don't have any extras or premiums. We don't pay for any of that. So this is what we have. No intro, no outro. And I think the thumbnail was basically, I don't know, some StreamYard freebie that they allowed us to use. So let's see if anyone joins. Again, I posted the link. The link is pinned. It's not pinned, but it's in the chat. So anyone wants to hop on, now is your chance because I really don't have many topics to talk about. We covered the AP swatch in excruciating detail in the last show, but there has been a new development today. So breaking news, Cap got the call requesting to see if I would like an allocation of a piece. So right now we have Andy Lewis. Hey, Andy. Howdy, y'all. Basically, I think you are our favorite. You're number one. You are numero uno in terms of viewers. Again, GMT does have subscribers, so this will go out to them, but who knows who's around. It's a nice Thursday evening on the East Coast of the United States. We'll see if anyone's around to open mic night. So all topics are welcome. If you show up in the queue, I can add you. And of course, you don't need to do camera on. Talk about your collection or whatever else you want to talk about. But I'm going to just give it a few minutes. Again, usually I'll have an intro song, so that'll take up like 5 or 6 minutes. But I want to talk about a couple of things. Patek Philippe being one of them. And I have a couple of other tabs that I can play regarding Tudor. The new release from Tudor. And I think there's a few other, I don't know if there's any other news that came out recently. There's always something going on. Somebody sent me from Tiffany a pretty cool, I guess, a model car. I can't pull it up, but it's in Gentleman's Hangout. That model car, I guess it's a watch as well. Or a clock, a desk clock, if you will. I think they're selling it for $48,000, which is a lot of money. So folks are rolling in. Welcome to the show. Anteater, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Anteater. How are you doing on this Thursday evening or late afternoon if you're on the West Coast? Hope everyone is well. We have Philip Hurst Media. Hey, Philip, how you doing? Hope everything is going well. I know you had your your watch that you created with love, care, and creativity. Hope it's going well. I hope it is going well. Any updates on Anteater? I know that you were doing a consolidation, so I don't know if you are complete with that phase and if you're in the purchasing mode. I know we had someone in our group who I don't want to mention who it was, but if you're in the watch hangout, which I always still call the gentleman's hangout, but the watch hangout, JJ's watch hangout, people are posting allocations, they're getting calls, they're getting offers. Seems like a lot of activity. A lot of folks are getting calls. We have a pretty hot stock market. I think crypto has been down, Bitcoin's been down, so the crypto bros have less funds. However, if you own some of these AI stocks or memory stocks, chip stocks, anything related to AI, some of those names have just been absolutely on fire, and they're hyperbolic. I don't know if I've never seen anything like it, but this reminds me of watches were going hyperbolic in 2020. I mean, some of these charts, if you follow stocks at all, just are hockey stick. So we know what happens when things go up fast. They take the stairs up and the elevator down. But in this case, they're taking it's like a rocket ship up. So, I mean, the fall will come. I don't know how much, but right now people seem to be flush with cash. There was again someone else in the chat, because they're always dropping knowledge, mentioned and I'm going to basically try to get this statistic right, that the United States added 730,000 new millionaires in 2025, bringing the total U.S. millionaire population to 8.73 million, according to the report. Now, I don't know if they're including equity in one's home, because as home prices have gone up, the $1 million net worth threshold is reachable for a lot of folks who live in areas where the average house price might be $500,000 or more. So I don't know if that includes a lot of times your net worth might exclude your primary residence, but it's a lot of people. And so their fortunes surged by nearly $3 trillion to $31.3 trillion. That's incredible. It's a lot of money. So there's money out there for watches. Rolex increased their prices. We saw that. I think it was around 5% for most pieces, 3% maybe for two-tone, 5% for gold. I guess same with steel, and more or less, plus minus, but more price increases. They never end. Doesn't matter if input costs increase, if cost of labor increase. They don't care if the Swiss franc gets stronger or weaker. Price increases every year. Where does it end? It'll only end when people stop buying watches, or at least stop buying new watches from retail. But Rolex doesn't have that problem. Other brands do. Tickle My Talk, thanks for joining. Everybody in the chat, thanks for joining the chat. Stay sexy. Yes, stay sexy. So we don't have a lot of there's some folks bouncing around here and there. I think it could get better. Again, the link, I posted the link. So if anyone wants to join and make this a conversation rather than a one-off discussion by me, feel free. So let's roll into this. I've wasted 9 good minutes of your time on the intro. So basically today, I first wristwatch check, and this will make sense. I'm wearing the 5326G travel time annual calendar on this calfskin nubuck strap with the deployant clasp. I didn't set the time, but I put this on for a reason. I got a call today, and the call was from my AD at a certain brand that is known for the cross. And what I'd like to do is It was for the 5226G, the 5226G, which I had expressed some interest in, even though I have the 5326G. I got a call for the 5226G, which is above $47,000 retail, which is a lot of money. It's substantial. It is a lot of money. I got a call for that. And basically, I wanted to play a video on it because I really do, as much as I love this watch, which is the complications piece with that same gradient dial, which goes from gray, like some folks call it the asphalt, clou de Paris, hobnail around the case. I wanted to show you guys a video from none other than Tim Masso. So I'm going to share my screen and let's pull up the first order of business is to play Tim's video. It's not that long, and I can jump in along the way. It's only 5 minutes. So he can talk about this piece, but it's obviously the modern Calatrava, one of their modern Calatravas, and I think it's a super clean piece. So let me play his video and then pause it along the way. Here we go.
Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. And this watch is a 2022 release in white gold from Patek Philippe. This is the Calatrava 5226G001. It was also described at the time of its launch as a Calatrava pilot. And while it does have some characteristics of a pilot's watch, it has not been universally marketed as such by Patek. Instead, I beg you consider this more of an all-arounder that's good at just about everything. It could easily be your only watch. In white gold, really gray gold, a type of white that needs no rhodium plating, it's 40 millimeters in diameter, 8.8 millimeters thick, and then 47.7 from lug to lug with a 21 millimeter spacing between the lugs. On my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, it wears nicely. Now, the strap is not broken in, so it's a bit stiff. It's compressing my wrist and exaggerating the size of the watch. But look down the back.
So that's a 40 millimeter Calatrava. It basically is on the larger side, as he says. It's on in this gray gold, as he calls it. Very clean looking watch, and Patek doesn't call it a military style, but it does have shades and similarities to the Hamilton field watch, the Hamilton khaki. Beautiful strap. He's got it on the black, what is that, or the darker shade of grayish black strap, which I have that strap as well for this piece. And you can see that my piece, as compared to that one, is let me see. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to go there. It's a bit thicker. If you look, that same hobnail, same everything. This has just those complications. So I think this is a good, little comparison here. Mine's upside down. At least to me it is. You could see this has the home and away. This has the extra hand. That's basically the pencil hands, or actually the syringe hands, and they look like the one for the away time is skeletonized. So it's tucked under the hour hand. Again, Arabic numerals, that gradient dial that fades from light to dark as you move away from the center to the outer part of the dial. Just very clean. And then this one obviously has the second hand for your travel time, and then it has the annual calendar. Very neatly done with the date at the bottom, day, and let me take a look at that. I can't even tell. I can't even read it. Day and month. So there you go. That's this one. So the one I got the call for is, and let me pull this back up if I can do this the right way. There we go. All right, the one on Tim Masso's wrist is the 5226. A lot, it's thinner. Looks to be about at least 1 or 2 millimeters thinner. And let's play the rest of this, get his take on it. Your friend Mikey, what's up? I'm going to pull you up right now. Thank you for supporting the show. How you doing? Hope everything is well on this Thursday evening. Hopefully you're relaxing, smoking a cigar, maybe having a little whiskey, but always good to see you. And thanks to you and everyone else. This is just a quick stream because I got a call. I got a call from Patek Philippe, and I don't know what to do. I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. And let me just roll through the rest of this. Feel free, any questions, put them in the chat. I'll answer them. We could talk, or any topics or anything like that. We could talk about it or jump on. Anyone could jump on.
Barrel, you can see that the lugs are nowhere near the edge of my wrist. The cuff shot showing that it'll easily slide under a dress cuff, and over the top, which always exaggerates the width of the lug. It still is within the bounds of my wrist. So I think you could wear this watch on a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference, and mine is 16 again for reference. What looks like textile is actually a hot stamp. So this is calfskin leather on the top in black, but it's been hot stamped to look like a weave. You've got a little bit of a contrasting stitch that matches the ecru coloration of the dial. And then we've got a folded edge with a bit of bolstering or stuffing to give it volume. You can see calfskin on the bottom, no crimping, no gouging, brand new Patek Philippe factory strap. We've got a matching white gold spade style Patek Philippe pin buckle, and then pull tab spring bars on the bottom so you can pop the strap off the case without tools. These lugs, they're shapely, they're intriguing, and they're unusual. You can see from this angle.
Okay. So let's see. One thing he just said that was real interesting. Let me go back for a second.
And they're unusual, so you can pop the strap off the case without tools. These lugs, they're shapely, they're intriguing, and they're unusual.
Ah, that's right. He's got a pin buckle on this strap. And so the when it has the basically quick change strap removal in the actual spring bars, so you can pop off that strap. That's on the pin buckle. See, on this one that I have, let me go back to my screen. You can see that this is the deployant, and same thing. It's got the quick release, so you can pop this off. Problem is with your second strap, which would be the one Tim also showing for the 5226. I don't have 2 deployants. So you'd have to get that strap, and you have to get a pin buckle for that strap. And what's interesting is when I went to Patek, the AD, they told me that I couldn't get a pin buckle for that strap. But now that I'm looking at Tim's watch that he's showing, it looks like you can. So, I don't know. Mikey, I'll get to this question. I don't know. I have to look up the 5396 would fit into the collection. Let me take a look at that after getting through the rest of this Tim video. We have a lot of time here. I'm going to skip forward on this thing because I'd rather get to your questions or comments. Let's just see what he has to say.
You can see from this angle that they're actually not connected to the case band. You could flip to an otherwise conical bezel, and then we have a little bit of a camber to this crystal. The watch is 30 meters water resistant, but Patek now calls 30 meters a real 30 meters, as in 30 meters underwater. And you'll find it on their website exactly as stated.
I mean, if that's the case, when Patek says, or Patek, as I like to say, which is the way I think you say it, 30 meters underwater, that's 90 feet. Nobody really, unless you're diving, you're not going 90 feet underwater. So really 30 meters is really good. And that's all you'll need to take this underwater. I wouldn't take this one underwater with the pushers, and another thing about this 5226G is it's got the color match. If you see that on the, you guys aren't looking. Hold on, sorry. Back up. Here we go. It's got the color match on the date window, which mine does not. And because my date is in the bottom. So I think that's a really cool touch. Anyway, I really, really like this watch. And the problem is this watch is trading for over 10,000 plus, maybe even 10 to 15,000 under retail. Retail for this piece is 47,000 plus. And I just think for a Calatrava, those prices, when you really think about it, 47,000 for a Calatrava. I mean, it seems like yesterday that they were in the low 30s, high 20s, low 30s. And here we are at 47,000 plus tax. You're looking at $50,000 for a Calatrava, for a basic three-hander, with a date complication. Beautiful watch. I mean, I think some people will say, no, it's not, it's modern Patek, and they like the classic Patek watches, which I like too. But they're going in this direction. So let's just get through the rest of this, and then I want to see the 5396. Mikey, maybe I'll try to pull up a tab of that while I'm watching the rest of this.
So this is now a very viable all-arounder with its automatic winding, stylistic versatility, and now swimmable water resistance. This is something you could wear all the time. Put it on a water-resistant strap, and per the manufacturer itself, you could swim with this. It's also very well loomed, to a degree almost unheard of on a pure dress watch, which is why I say this is an all-arounder. The hands center are syringe style for the hours and minutes with a lovely ecru varnished lancet style seconds hand. We've got white gold Arabic numeral applique, white gold hands and numerals. They won't tarnish, oxidize, or discolor with time. The printing on the dial is the same color as the loom, which is in good taste, as it's a nice complementary color to a dial that Patek Philippe describes as textured charcoal gradient. So light at the center, dark at the edge, with a texture, a little bit like martelage or maybe tremblage, and then it is charcoal. So all makes sense so far. The date disc is both the same color as the dial and printed in the same color as the dial, which is a nice touch. And because this is a modern Patek caliber 26330 SC, we do have a hacking seconds function.
Hacking seconds, so you have that gradient textured dial.
Easily do so. And we have a quick set date.
Quick set, color matches, he said.
And Patek does everything right here.
Did he really? I think so.
Job.
Yeah.
Turning it all over now, you can see that movement.
There's the movement.
A combination of manual. The movement's
very cool.
Not technically exceptional in terms of power reserve. It's only 45 hours. Barrel cover, the beveling within the jewel and screw sinks.
Patek seal.
It is an all-arounder. If you want a truly fine, elite brand watch, it does not get any better than a Patek Philippe Calatrava. So reach out to Team Also at the 19.
There you go, Team Also, the 1916 company. Well done, great job as usual. Tim knows all the details and the fountain of knowledge and an encyclopedia, basically. But I can close this tab because now we've watched it, so that's gone. Boom. And let's see. So now I should be back. Here we go. What I'm going to do, Mikey, I pulled up a 5396. I don't know if this is the one you're referring to, but this is the one that came up. So I'm going to share the screen, and you just tell me in the chat if this is the one that, let's see, I got it on this big screen now. I don't think I could shrink this. I'm sharing it. This is the size that's coming in here. All right. Is this the watch? It's the 5396 G17 with the blue. Very cool. That's the one. Good. All right. Here we go. So at least we got that right. $71,000, 768. Holy moly. That's a lot of money. I think, yeah. So I've seen this watch. In fact, I think OC owns this watch. If I'm not mistaken, the 5396G. I mean, I like it, but I think that the case and the bezel are very similar actually to the one I have, the 5326G and the 5226G. So I'd have to go to Patek's website to see if this is also under the is this under the Calatrava models, or is it under only the complications. It might just be under the complications. So this is not a Calatrava, but I could be wrong. I'd have to go back and take a look. But it's a good looking watch. I do like it. I like it more than I thought, because I like the sword hands, very symmetrical with the day, month, and date at the bottom. So that's done almost exactly similar to anyway what I have. I noticed that, where is it? They have, I'm looking at text. I just noticed this. I think it says Geneva under mine, under Patek Philippe. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to, where's my loot? Anyway, I have text under where it says Patek Philippe. Let me make this bigger. Let me zoom out. Here we go. There you go. So, right, this is the one with the diamond, the baguette diamonds too. So those pop. Those pop. White gold, very clean, nice looking blue. Looks like a blue sunburst blue, or yeah. So that's going to look that's going to play very well with the light. And yeah, it's a good looking piece. It's a good looking piece. Thanks for bringing that up. I think they're too similar. I mean, it's hard to say if you really like that style, but if you're only getting a few Pateks or two, I think they're too similar. Similar, to what I'm looking at now with the 5226, 5326. I mean, those are the same watch. One is just has a little bit thicker with the complications. Or do you prefer it clean? Less complications, lighter on the wrist. That would definitely fit under a cuff. I think this does too, but this definitely has a couple of millimeters on that one. So both great. Look, I could actually go. I wouldn't buy this watch just knowing I'm not on the Patek journey. That's the thing, and they don't bundle as far as we know. So it's not like you're going to get an Aquanaut if you buy that watch. So on that basis, but I have thought about owning that one. But then I'd get rid of the complications piece, and I really like having this. So thanks, Mikey, for pointing that out. The case on your Patek seems a lot more interesting, but it's a different style. Yeah, I think this has stronger kind of angular lugs, if you will, and they're soldered on. Not soldered on, they're attached. So they're not part of the case for this piece. They're actually added on. So like on the bottom, they're soldered on, but they're not made out of the case. So what they did was they did the clou de Paris around the entire case, and then added the lugs, right? So if you like that style, it's almost like bolt on. It's like bolt on lugs, right? And it's a little thicker. So there you have it. Mikey, close friend was offered this at retail and asked my opinion. Well, at retail, they're going to be lower on the gray market. So if that's not an issue, and I could see, look, part of me says if you really want to Patek under your name, you pay the extra. I mean, it's a lot of money, but if it's going to be a one and only, and you want to have it in your name and the experience, which will come and go, but your name's going to be actually on those papers as well. You'll be in good stead with Patek Philippe. You'll kind of feel part of the brand because you're actually purchasing something from the brand. So rather than when you buy in gray, your money doesn't go to the brand. Your money goes to support the secondary market, and it goes to the gray dealer. But is that worth the $10,000 to $15,000 if you're not on the journey? If you are on the journey, it may take to another piece, another Calatrava, another complications, another dress, annual calendar, or something like that, to, let's say, get that Aquanaut as the third piece, if you can even get it. Or they'll probably try to move one of the Cubitus models that they can't sell. And, to go 3 watches in without getting an Aquanaut and forget about an Nautilus. That's probably takes 5 or 6 pieces. It just doesn't seem worth it. In any event, I am not going to purchase this watch at the AD. As you guys who know me and who follow our chat group at the Watch Hangout know all too well, that I'm just not on the Patek journey that way. So, unfortunately, I will not be purchasing the piece. If the prices all were equal, then sure, why not? I might do that. Um, you know, but again, I think if I did that, I'd have to get rid of move on from the 5326 and just decide I wanted the less complicated, cleaner version. All right. So that's topic one. Topic two. So okay, I want to cover the new Tudor release. And rather than me do it, because honestly, I didn't even go to Tudor's website yet. Well, we're doing this kind of at the same time. There's a 6-minute YouTube video that Adrian Barker did and about the new Tudor release. And Britt Pierce did a 5-minute review. So I will let the chat decide. Wow, the two of them are very close to the number of subscribers. Adrian has 356,000 and Britt Pierce has 383,000 subscribers. So total. So she got 51,000 views on this video. He got 20,000. So she's winning so far, but his was just 6 hours ago. So very close. Their viewership is almost, very, very close. And the number of views they get is close as well. So I will give the chat, and Mikey, I think you're the only one participating right now. So thank you very much. Who do we want to see? Because we're not going to watch both. It's going to be, we'll watch it together, fair use. I'll comment. Adrian Barker or Britt Pierce. Britt over Adrian. Can't take any more condescending. Okay, wait, let's pull that up. Bamal, you're going to get value for money. Value for money. Well, the only alert, are you you're a subscriber to GMT's channel, the GMT show? If you are, then you would get the notification. But it is what it is. I give no notice. I gave 0 notice for this. This is a completely unplanned stream. If you want to jump on, feel free. But I covered some of the Patek that I got the call for. So you weighed in. You want Britt over Adrian. Let's do that. I'm going to have to put this on mute and let's just listen to it. I'll pop in, but I have to take care of 1 or 2 things. So bear with me. So let me share it. Let's listen to Britt. I haven't watched it, and I don't know if you guys have either. So let's see what she has to say. And I think she always does a good job. You should subscribe to both of those channels. I think, and Tim also, by the way. I think they all do a really good job. So I am going to, here we go. Away we go.
Released a new Black Bay Chrono. It is slimmer, it is smaller, and it is going to be difficult to hold myself back from making Bumblebee puns. But I will do my best to behave. So this is the Black Bay Chrono 39 with a Bumblebee yellow dial. It takes the iconic design of the Black Bay Chrono, shrinks it down, and it's a part of the Tudor Daring collection, which is where they take well-known, well-loved existing models and reimagine them. Different materials, bold colorways. I really like what they're doing with these daring models. They don't call back to anything, they're not trying to sell heritage. It's kind of like their skunk works. It's where they're doing interesting, weird things. Let's start with what's different. So the case has shrunk down from 41 millimeters to 39 millimeters. Stainless steel with polished and satin finishes, 20 millimeter between the lugs, which is better suited to the shrunken diameter, and thickness of 13.1 millimeters, down from 14.4. So this
Okay, so it's a thinner case you mentioned. That's good news.
This has been brought down in a pretty meaningful way. And I think these proportions will bring in a lot of people who were intimidated by the previous size. The movement is the same, so still powered by the manufacturer caliber MT5813, automatic winding, COSC certified, chronograph functionality, and 70 hours of power reserve. The dial layout, as far as I can tell, remains the same. Two subdials at 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock, date neatly tucked away at 6 o'clock, and screw down pushers. One thing I really like and respect about Tudor is they do actually listen to enthusiast feedback and make changes because of it. So the snowflake hand has been redesigned for improved subdial legibility. And the subdials feature a new knurling pattern, a Mark II, you can almost think of it as. As for the bracelet, I believe it's only available on the 3 link, but you might notice there are no faux rivets, smooth outer links, and still with the T-fit clasp, which seems to be standard these days.
Okay, so no faux rivets. Our hand, I guess they shrunk it a bit to make those sub registers more legible. I don't know why they chose yellow, but I guess it's the summer and this pops. You have screw down pushers, similar, AKA or like the Daytona. I guess it's good for water resistance, so it enables us to kind of do it all. So I could see that. It is a black bay. It's a tool watch. I'm not a huge fan of this yellow, this bumblebee color that they chose, but I'm sure they'll roll this out into other colorways. Meta certified. Let's continue with Brit and get some more information about the new Black Bay Chrono 39 from Tudor.
I think every single thing that has been done to this watch is an improvement. It's almost like the Black Bay Chrono refined, but there is still one giant yellow elephant in the room. The color is a lot for the senses, vibrant honeybee yellow, complemented with black and white. I personally really like it, although I'm pretty open to weird Tudor watches. The more I see it, the more I like it. Like when the press pack first came through, it was a bit, ooh, I'm not sure. But after seeing it on the website and on Instagram, I'm kind of into it. Tudor scarcely gets color wrong. They are particular, and even when they do this bold kind of stuff, even if the color isn't for you, they usually execute it well. I think they know the color will be a deterrent for some people. Also, this is why this is a part of the Daring collection. They don't do boring in this line. Let's talk about money. The price doesn't sting. These retail for £5,270, which is perfectly in keeping with their current offerings. The 41 millimeters is £100 more.
Oh shit. Mikey, thank you. I just wasted a lot of time here. Yeah, in any event, let's just cut to the chase. Chrono on Jubilee. Yep, I think it would look great if it's on Jubilee. And they have a ton of SKUs now. They're starting to really get out of control. Almost like they don't what they don't want to do is be like Omega when you have way too many SKUs. And most of these are black bays. So even within the brand itself, within the model lineup of Black Bay, it's all over the place. So I really wish they would have not called some of these watches the Black Bay, but I guess that's their platform. And the case is similar for all Black Bays, or the shape of the case, the design. I'm not sure, but it just gets confusing. But what I was saying is, when the watches are slimmed down, who wants the older iterations? Because I had the older Pepsi, and then they slimmed it down currently. And I like when they have slimmer watches. That's always been one of the criticisms of Tudor. And Omega, you can make an argument as well, with their Seamasters. And then the what's their more robust piece? Well, it'll come to me. But yeah, slim watches are good. Let's see. The Chrono in 39 sounds good. Hello, yellow. Yep. I agreed. Yellow is not their best foot forward. Okay, no one can hear me. Now you can. Yeah, the monologue was actually better than what ended up coming out after I unmuted, but it's gone forever, guys. There's nothing I can do. All right, let's go back. Let's go back and finish off the rest of this with Britt.
So you're saving a bit of money with the smaller case, the no faux rivet bracelet, and new hands. I don't know. I'm pleasantly surprised that this isn't the same price as the existing model, or even more expensive. If I could make one change to the design, I'd be curious to see this in titanium. It's such a bold dial and design. I think the dark effect of titanium and the lightness, like the physical feeling lightness of the material, could be an asset.
Oh, titanium would be a game changer. Absolutely. But you're going to add cost to that. If this thing is in titanium, sign me up. Though, you have to like the hands, the snowflake hour hand. I wish we had a front on view, but again, it's aesthetics too. I like the way they do the date, at the 6 o'clock. Very nice. That they actually have a date there, unlike the Speedy. The 2 register versus 3, that's personal choice. I know if I had a Royal Oak Owl, I love the 2 register, but I do also really like the Speedmaster, so I would take that. I like the design of that piece with the tri-compacts, the 3 registers. But again, this is all good. Slimming it down. Got to give him kudos for that. And let's hear the rest of Brit. We have another 2 minutes, guys. The 2-minute warning.
But the esteemed design team over at Tudor knows far more than me. Maybe they did try titanium and it didn't look as good. So, because I'm me, I can't just see a new release and go about my day. I have to speculate. I think it's a big deal that they're experimenting with smaller chronographs and thinner profiles. This has the same movement as the pre-existing 41mm chrono, so they can make a thinner case with this movement. And I think it shows that they're listening to enthusiasts and moving accordingly. I think it's a big deal. And now I need to get hands-on in order to speak more into the ergonomics and the wearing experience. This is all I can say for now. Another conspiracy I need to spread because I just can't help myself. There is a part of me that wonders if this has somehow been a part of the R&D of the return of the big block, or a chronograph that is big block adjacent. So maybe it's going to be a 39mm case, 3 subdials, the formation that would be in line with this model, and screw down pushers. I don't know for sure. I don't know anything at all, really. This is all just speculation. But we are.
Yeah, just throw it out there, Britt. Why not? Let's speculate. Let's speculate. Why not? Let me just see what the hell. I have no idea what that is. The big block. If if anyone's familiar with this, feel free to chime in. I guess it's got the 3 sub-registers aligned there to the left. I know that the Royal Oak offshore or older offshores do that. I like it on the offshores. It's got a steel bezel. Yeah, big block. It looks like a big block for sure. Let's see what else. And she pulled up this one. Okay. See, this one's not bad. I like 3 registers, but then they're moving the, date to the 3 o'clock. It's a whole different design. So yeah, sure. They could be coming out with this. Who knows? But it's a completely different movement, or at least a modification. Or no, it's a different movement. I mean, you can't. It's not a mod. You're adding a sub register and moving the date. So who knows? We'll see. But again, you either like screw down pushers on a chrono or you don't. That's what the Daytona has, and has its detractors because of it. It's not very functional if you're in a race car, but it is useful if you're going in the water.
Block adjacent. So maybe it's going to be a 39mm case, 3 subdials, the formation that would be in line with this model, and screw down pushers. I don't know for sure. I don't know anything at all, really. This is all just speculation. But we are still in Tudor's 100-year celebrations, and they are a brand that is known for off-calendar big releases. Anyways, guys, I saw this in my inbox and had to share. What do you guys think of the new Black Bay Chrono? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, don't. And here are some puns while we thank.
Subscribe to Britt Pierce. Thank you to Britt Pierce for that summary. She was in Watches and Wonders giving a talk, and I was scheduled to go and meet her, but I didn't quite make it to that event. So maybe next year. But thanks, Britt, and we will see you on the next one. Okay, so she's out. What do we got? We got some couple more people back in the room. Let's go. Patrick, here we go. We got Patrick Pocket here. I'm late. What did you get the call for, Cap? Oh, I got the call for, well, they asked me if I would accept an allocation. I guess they were calling people for indications of interest of the 5226G Patek Philippe 5226G. I'm wearing the watch I have, the 5326G. So I did kind of a comparison. I had Tim Masso do the honors of his video on the 5226. Shout out to Tim and 1916 Company. Check that out. But I did kind of a comparison, and obviously I don't need the watch, and I'm keeping this one, but that was the one I got the call for, and I think that's an awesome watch. The issue is if you're not on a Patek journey, to try to, and that's the journey to the Aquanaut or journey to the Nautilus, or a Cubitus for that matter, which I'm definitely not on that journey. Unless you're on that journey, it just doesn't make sense to buy, those types of pieces at Patek because of the huge disparity in price between the gray market and retail. It's shockingly at 47,000 something, like 47.8, I want to say 47.4 plus tax. So you're talking about a $50,000 Calatrava. And so you could go rewatch it if you guys missed the first half of the show, first 30 minutes. It's covered in depth. No intro music, so we won't get struck, which is good. Let's see if we get some views. All right, Famal. Did you see George Bush's 5971P up for auction? What a beautiful watch. I don't have, hold on. Let me pull up YouTube and then see if I'll go to that chat and then I'll be able to pull up I'll have to watch this show. See if I can pull that up. I think you posted a link on that, right? I think you posted a link on that. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right, I'm going to mute myself here. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, guys. I have that up. So now let me share the link. Not share the link, share the screen. So let's do that. Here we go. I'm clicking away fast and furious right now. Thanks everybody for watching. Feel free to join. I could post a link to the show. I think it's all the way up. If you scroll in the chat, you'll see it if you guys can do that. Anyone who wants to hop on, whatever's on your mind, watches or otherwise. Here we go. Got it. Okay, that was fun. Register to bid. I think I might be registered at Sotheby's for whatever reason. I'm not bidding on anything. Or Phillips. Those premiums are pretty high. All right, here it is. What do we got here? This looks like a Grand Comp perpetual calendar with big diamonds around the bezel chronograph. So it's a perpetual calendar chronograph, it seems to me. Or yeah, is it perpetual? Let's see. I see the chrono. Let's see. Yeah, perpetual calendar. I didn't even with leap year, right? Moon phase, of course. Previously owned by George Bush, circa 2007. President George W. Bush. There it is. I mean, it's a phenomenal piece. I don't know what to say. It's insane. Actually, I'm surprised George Bush. I guess it's the father. It's 41 or 43. Bush 41 or 43. Let me know in the chat. Oh, I think I saw the 43. Okay, I did see. Yeah, I mean, this is a statement piece for sure. I mean, this is a Grail. You know, Grail times two. It's got these little. It's like little diamond chips on the inner track, and then a baguette diamond at 12. I mean, this looks like a Russian oligarch watch, to be honest with you. I'm surprised George Bush is very conservative, would wear this. Not that conservative people don't like diamonds, but I don't know, just knowing of the Bush family and their nature, I just don't see him with this watch unless he just got the allocation. But I understand he's either him or his father are big Patek collectors. So yeah, great looking watch. I would love it without the diamonds. I don't need them. I don't need them. Let's see what we got here. I saved AB. That's good. Cap, you saved me. I was starting to lose resolve and place bid on Vucom eBay live auctions going on right now. That's one rabbit hole I thankfully have not gone down yet. But I have to say, when you guys talk about it, I am very tempted to go on Vucom on eBay Live just to see. That's when you really see some live pricing. You see some live pricing action, which is good. It sounds like it's a moda for everybody, for anyone on eBay. So I wonder if the pricing is more dealer pricing or, does it get to where the gray market pricing is? I'd be curious to see, but assuming the pieces are authenticated, that's the biggest issue. Condition, authentication, I assume they have to be authenticated. But the condition can vary. So, it'd be very tempting, but I don't know what type of pieces they're offering. 5512s, 5513s. Do they have some Rolex Sea Dwellers? 16, the 1660s, or I'm sorry, the 1665, 1665s, great white, 16600s, those types of things would be cool. Vintage subs. Yep, dang, that's Texas oil money, baby. That's right. He was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, right? Became president. There he is. He owned a baseball team, I think, too. 2025 Black Dial Daytona went for 29. All right. Well, that's not 29. Yeah, I mean, they were always hovering around 27, 28. I think in the motor groups. So that doesn't seem that bad, especially with prices creeping up again. That seems actually pretty good. It's 2024. So you still have a decent amount of warranty. If that's full set, be interesting to know if that's full set or not. But that would be a decent price from what I know. Mike the Mistake. Fuck me dead. Mr. GMT has a channel. I just subbed. Oh, GMT has had this channel for over 5 years. That's why he has a lot of subscribers. Because I think he used to do Suvla videos for his TikTok snack bar. How can I not remember? Is Tip Top Snack Bar or TikTok Snap Bar? No, it's Tip Top, right? Yeah. Wow. Those eBay, I'm a little tired. Those eBay Live are at times are higher than Chrono. Oh wow, that's not good. That's definitely not good. Bids are manipulated. Could be third parties or folks that they know or straw bidders. Always bid the price up. I guess that could happen at any auction. Same users bidding on all the watches, right? They just keep bidding them up. Unless they know they're going to get outbid. You know, maybe the same bidders are trying to buy a watch and they just are lowballers. I don't know. AB says yes. I think that was to the prior question of box papers. Tip Top. Here we go. Yeah, I'm thinking TikTok. Where I guess TikTok was in my head. Mike, the Mistake. I've had the pleasure of attending Tip Top Snack Bar and meeting the man himself. I didn't regret it. Yes, you won't come and get it, and you won't regret it. Well, the man is hard at work these days. Spoke to him last night. Wanted him to said I might want to do a show. It's always better to, have somebody on with you. And unfortunately, he just couldn't do it. So the show goes on. I just wanted to do a quick. It's turning into an hour now. I have one more video because we were talking about the Tudor Chrono, and let me know in the chat if you guys are a fan of that the new Black Bay Chrono in yellow that Tudor just released. 39 millimeter, great size. I have larger wrists, so it's fine by me, but it's probably good for smaller wrists. It's a bit thinner. Looks like it's 1 millimeter thinner than it was. And we'll see what they do with that going forward. Oh, we have 14 live viewers, and see now they're all now you guys are all joining. I'm running out of steam. Let's see. Marco posted the Cartier Drive on the WhatsApp today. I've been lusting for that watch. The Cartier Drive. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've seen folks buy that watch. It's definitely a masculine, larger size watch from Cartier. So it's not that dainty, Cartier Tank Louis that barely fits anyone's wrist. I mean, it's a good looking watch. It's just small. I go back and forth with Cartier because I've never owned one. And I think at some point in my life, I should own at least one, or at least, try it out, see what it's all about. And if it speaks to me, I like a bunch of them. But you got to find the ones in the right size. And I think what I would get is a Reverso. I think I would just get a plain Jane Reverso. Maybe, forget about the dual face, because if I can just get a Reverso the way it was intended to be, mono face with the white or silver dial, pattern guilloche, I think that would be awesome. I do look at the duo face, the one with the chronograph duo face. I think is beautiful. I think that's a really good one, but those are also a lot more expensive. So at Watches and Wonders, I had a basic mono face. I think it was a white dial, really clean looking, and I just think it's a really, really cool watch. So between that and the Cartiers, the tanks, the asymmetrique, the cloche, the this, the that. I don't know. I don't know what Cartier I would get, to be honest. The Cintre. What's the other one that I tried on? The Americain. I almost got an Americain, but I'm not sure I'd like that long term. It's a thicker, longer piece, right? I don't know if I'd love that. So, I mean, a tank is a classic dress piece. What's left? I guess the drive, and then of course, how can I forget the Santos Dumont? I think a Santos Dumont would be the dress piece from Cartier that I would get. A Nate watch, one of the Nate watches. Those are, you can't deny it. Those are good looking watches. And if you want something more sporty, you get the Santos. Skip the Dumont, just get the Santos. Thanks, AB. Appreciate it. Vimal, I'm really vibing with platinum watches. Would love to own one in the collection. Yeah, platinum. Actually, I think, what did I want to say? Oh, I almost bought a Journe platinum from a friend years ago. This guy, Spence R. That was his name in the chat. I'd met him for dinner, and he had his platinum Journe. The basic, if there is such a thing, I think it was the basic Chronomet Sovereign in platinum. And at the time, there was not much to it. It was very basic looking, but of course, in that Journe style. So the Journe hands, the Journe power reserve, but white with, I think his was the platinum hour markers, because I think they made it in platinum and maybe blue, but it was a substantial piece. It was really good. And I think he moved on from it and sold it to Marco. So it was available for a lot lower, actually, than even, I think, than what he paid for it, I want to say. But those days are long gone, because I thought about getting that one, and then the CPCP Cartier. I think it was an Americain in platinum that Marco was that I almost pulled the trigger on, that Marco had years ago, and he told me about CPCP. We have a special guest, a man who needs no introduction, but I'm going to give him an introduction anyway. This man hails from parts unknown. He's traveled around the globe. He's lived all over the world, and now resides with Mommy, his amazing wife, in Japan. I plan to visit him, or he's going to visit me at some point in our lifetimes. Here he is.
I'm going to kick your ass in tennis. I'm going to.
All right.
That's going to be the end of you. The end.
Hey, I just went to an orthopedic guy this morning because I have a knee problem. So, well, I'm going, but luckily he took x-rays, and it turns out I just need to stretch and do bullshit, exercises. So
I am basically chasing your buzz on that, but the truth is that you're going to kick my ass. I don't play tennis now for 6 months,
No, but I don't either, though. So we're even. But I will kick your ass in pickleball, at least until you figure out how to play. Wait a minute. We have another guest here. What the hell is going on? GMT. Wow. Speak of the devil. First Marcelo, and now you.
Speak of the devil, and the devil will appear, my friend. How you
how you doing, bro?
What's going on,
guys? Not much, man. Welcome to the stream. I've been going for an hour, killing time. And
I had no idea you were on, my friend.
No, that's okay. I just figured I'd pop on. I'm glad Marcelo just joined us, and now you're here. Look at this Patek Philippe, by the way. This apparently is George Bush 43. So the younger Bush, the second Bush.
Actually, I don't mind it.
He's auctioning this watch off. What's crazy about it is it's going for auction on Sotheby's.
I can just imagine how many millions.
I think it's like the range was 200 to 400,000.
Jesus, man. I mean,
Yeah.
how old this watch really is? Is like from the 70s, 80s? I mean, how old it really is?
Um, no, it's 2007. It says, look at this. It's a platinum and diamond set perpetual calendar, leap year indication, moon phase. It's just got all those diamonds on it, and the estimate is 200 to 400. I'm guessing it's going to go higher, though. Look at this thing. See, you guys seeing? Yeah, there you
You
go.
see, Captain, I don't really understand in Patek like I understand in Rolex. For instance, I know that models that are like Nautilus and Royal Oak in AP and so on, they always go up in value. They're always selling over retail. Does this kind of watch is also selling over retail? This kind of Pateks?
I mean, that's a great question because I'm not a huge. I don't follow. I know most of the dress pieces.
No, this one here is definitely
not.
selling at retail.
This one will, but it's because it's George Bush's watch.
Oh, yeah.
But Marcelo, I hear you. I think you know what the really special perpetual calendars, they creep up over time, so that's why they're collectible. So if you go back in Patek's archives, you know they have these. I think it's a 2999, and then they have some other the more modern references. The perpetual calendar chronographs and the perpetual calendars. You might be able to get them under retail initially, but then they start creeping back up.
Yeah, I remember
over
was
the
a
years.
model of Elton John had the one right that his wife gave him back I think in the late 70s or something. So I know these models have kind of history.
Right, they do. They and again, it's just select, but it's not. I mean, maybe there's others that you know. I'm sure there are others that I'm not aware of that have a lot of history and you know the historical pieces fetch a premium. But you're right. If you go to their current lineup, it's the Nautilus and the Aquanaut, and now the Cubitus, and we'll see how long. And that's probably going to last because they don't make. I think they only have one or how many models of Nautilus do they still have?
Nautilus supposed to be like I think six
Yeah.
models, yes.
Everything else, you know, is under retail. So dress pieces are significantly under retail. That's why the topic of this show, Marcelo, is I got a call for a Calatrava dress, the 5326. It has that granular gradient dial.
Right.
And it's like this watch. I bought this watch.
Buy it, Cap. Buy it. Just buy it, Cap.
I'm not
Buy it.
Fucking just buy it, Cap. Buy it.
So I bought this watch at pre-owned for about 30% below retail.
This is the still Calatrava, right?
Sell it, Cap. Sell it.
It's a Calatrava with the not chronograph. It's the travel time annual calendar travel time. So you can get this in the 60s. Patek is selling this for like 98,000 plus tax. Makes no sense, right? So the other one, the Calatrava, let me get myself off.
You just kick out yourself. You remove yourself? Oh, okay.
All right,
No,
Cap, what do you fucking get this show on the ride, man? What the hell are you doing here, man?
There we
Trying
go.
to fuck shit up.
So basically, Marcelo, the watch they're trying to sell me is 48,000 retail, but you could buy it for like 35 in the gray market. So, you know, I'm not on a journey because I'm not going to buy 2 or 3 retail.
Vermont reckons got one picture down.
No, the question is if you do that move, does he insure you over retail piece? Like do you know like continuing the game? Like does it insure you a good piece, or you just going to be you know like?
No, I don't think there's any guarantee. I think they say you have to buy like 2 of their dress pieces before you then get maybe a Cubitus. Okay, they might give you like a 2-tone Cubitus, which is probably above retail. Net, you're probably losing money. I think you'd still be behind. Then they're going to sell you like a complications. Who knows what they'll try to stick you with? Maybe they'll even sell you a grand comp because I don't know if any grand complications are going above retail. Unless they're like limited, you know. Basil's, hold on, let me just hit some of these people. Basil's bezels is okay, walk it off. Okay. Whatever.
No,
The Patek will, yeah,
thing
Vimal
that
thinks it's
people-
gonna go for close to $1 million. Hold on, the 5971 very rare. Okay, they go above an auction. Go one pick down, you'll see the certificate. That alone will be the premium. Okay, right. The certificate is George Bush. Let me scroll down for that. Here we go. Confirming the owner, President George Bush. Additional solid case back. Oh, it's got an additional, so it's okay. So it includes there's your movement, and then they have I guess the solid case back they give you in addition. I'm not seeing that. From,
Okay, so you know what?
maybe down here.
I
Here it
understand.
is. Here it is.
Look, Captain, this piece, because it's George Bush, he inflated, it's probably going to go over retail for sure, like a crazy price.
Here it is.
Question is, this watch is not rare, right? Do you have another example of exactly that watch, how much it goes for in the gray market? Exactly.
Yeah, well, I could Google it, or I could pull up Chrono 24. Give me a second. 5971P001. I'm just showing this for everybody. It says, Monsieur le Président des États-Unis d'Amérique. I just butchered that.
Yeah, you're not French.
That's French. That's not bad though. Le Président des États-Unis d'Amérique. Amérique. All right, whatever. Amérique. November 12th, 2007. All right, so now I got to pull up how much this fucking watch. This is from 2007. 15. I don't know how much it was in retail though. You hold on. Let me do this. 5971P. Where's GMT?
I don't know. It is probably.
He fucking comes on, wrecks the show, and then
He's still there. You're still here. He's still on the top, above us.
Here we go. I'm going to Chrono 24.
Yeah,
Verify you are human. Oh God, this is insane. All right, here we go. Oh wow, these are expensive, man. These are no joke. 14 listings. All right, let me share the screen because
you know all the Rolex that I have, I keep the receipt, credit card receipt, everything. I actually it's funny that the gray market dealers, they don't want it. They say we don't need it, and I always think it's stupid because
I know. Well, if I sell something back to a gray dealer though, I don't give them that shit because I don't want them to have any of my personal information. Because I don't want the next buyer to be bitching and decides to look me up or whatever and come after me for a refund.
I think you're right. I think you're right on that. But me personally,
Cap, what the fuck's your problem having a go at me? I'm trying to do my work here. You're like,
no, don't worry about it. Hey, this is entertainment. Just go with it. Roll with it.
I personally not going to chase you. But I always wanted the detail. I wanted the original receipts, everything. I wanted to know how much money you pay 10 years ago or 20 years ago. I wanted to know a bit of, basically I'm buying a piece that I want. I wanted the history of the person that had the piece, if it makes sense,
Yeah. No. I'd keep the same for me too. When you buy a watch from Rolex, I keep everything that especially if it's an AD piece, I have all that. So, now when you auction yours off, it'll say Marcello, and will that fetch a premium or will people pay less because they see it's from you?
I don't know. Look, it would be amazing,
You may hurt the value. They might be like, Marcello, I don't want this.
Imagine that.
No offense to Marcella, but all his watches are all fucked up and banged up from working with him.
Well, if they see, if they see him bashing tennis balls and cooking with them in the hot coals or the grill or the fire, they're gonna run the other way. All right, hold on.
not when you don't have a choice, when the pieces are very rare to get.
That's
You
true.
know?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You could do a lot of things to that piece, to the Le Mans, and it would still, someone will pay a lot of money for it. Bezels, with inflation, I'd imagine they'd sell for more than they would have in 2007. That's true. They're going to be higher. It's a matter of adjusted for inflation. Are they
So
still,
how much is the price here?
holding
100?
or under?
Oh,
You know, um, let's see.
the prices are everywhere from 270 to 400. Why?
It was a 250,000 watch in 2007. So look, that was a while ago, though. So inflation has been pretty hot the last few years. You're talking about almost 20 years.
Yeah,
Um,
but why the price is jumping like 200K up and down? I mean, crazy, you saw? Like almost 200 grand, 274, 400,
My-
300 and something. The prices is everywhere. in
It
this
is.
world.
Mike the Mistake, Mr. GMT is busy running a business. Yes, that's right. He is. Wow from hell, that's good money. I don't know. Look, your money be better off in an index fund or something like that, or T-bills. I'm not sure about.
Cap, Cap, you're breaking records here. You got 10 viewers. You're unreal.
Hey, I have no intro music, so we might actually get to decent follow-on viewers tonight.
Captain,
Yeah. Just don't fuck it up, man.
I won't. I've bought a few watches with a credit card slip, so the original owner came with papers. I can't fathom why anyone would send that to the dealer when they sell the watch. True. I totally agree with that. I try to look, I include most, the goodies that come with the watch, of course, if there's a pusher in there, if there's some sort of, extra. I gave an anchor when I sold my Sea Dweller back, and I bought a booklet off eBay that corresponded to that watch. And I gave it to the dealer.
Special. He came only on that watches, on that vintage. Yeah.
I know. You'll get a signed picture of Marcelo in uniform. Yeah, that's like I said, Bezels. I don't know if that's going to add to the value or detract from it. We were talking about Vucom, Marcelo. You ever hear of Vucom, the eBay live auctions they're doing? They're doing eBay auctions.
I see. Look, the thing is that if my Delamont definitely would be a watch that will go for auction, and the problem is that for whatever the price going to be, I'm getting basically actually nearly 40%, if not 50% less than what you pay for the watch on the auction. You know that because it's the commission, it's the fees.
I know.
I know. The views are getting even better. They've gone down.
Only half.
You're getting it in the culo.
Yeah.
You're going to get it in the culo. So yeah, enough of this Patek. Let's kill that.
Bro, this is killing your show, man. You've only got 8 viewers now.
By the way,
it's your show. You got no fucking subscribers.
Hey, listen to me. I've got a lot of subscribers. You know what? I can't even.
In how many years?
I can't even get monetized if I want right now. I've even got a message to get monetized, but I don't want to. Fuck the monetization.
Well, why can you get monetized? That's because of me putting in all the hours. That's why you.
I'm not saying. I never said it wasn't.
I'm going to make an AI video clip of Captain with a.
It's great. Now we're arguing and then we're losing remove you.
You play Heather Wilson. And Mr. GMT also are going to create an AI video of him as well.
Hey, so what do you guys think of the? Did you see that new?
You're gonna do an AI video of me?
Yeah, in Greek. Greek rap. I told you, going to do something. I did it already for producer Mark. You needed to see it. You look actually nice.
Yeah, see, Mike the Mistake subbed. Thank you, Mike the Mistake, and everybody else who's the chat.
Mike the Mistake's a legend, mate. He's a legend. You got a good chat. You have got a very good chat.
Hey, Captain, do you have it?
But everyone's dropping. They're dropping. But that's
well, you notice the numbers have decreased since I don't know if it was you or Marcelo, but we were steadily.
No, it's me. Because I jumped on last.
You guys fucked my show up, man.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump off.
I'm better in a solo format anyway, but
you are better. You are actually better in a solo format. But the point is here, I've jumped on and completely derailed your show. It's gone to fucking shit. You've only got 5 viewers left. All right. I'm
Well,
gonna jump off before you got no viewers left. How's that?
Unfortunately, Marcelo, you came on super late because this was going to be a 1-hour stream, but I do appreciate you joining. But I'm going to kill this thing. Tell everybody, when are you streaming?
Late, huh? He's late in the States.
It's not. It's actually not that late, but you know, I didn't have much. I just wanted to cover my AD situation, and
We got a good we got a good question.
Oh, I think he asked the same question last week. I don't have I don't have a good answer for you. Maybe Marcelo, you take this one. What would be the meaning of life in a watchless world?
There is no meaning. There is no meaning. It's meaningless.
Look, we are. I mean, we should admit that we are mentally sick in a disease that actually is a wealthy disease. I mean, we should admit it.
You know, I'll tell you. You know what the meaning of life for me? Yeah, it'd be on to buying a second, a third, or a fourth car that I don't need. That's what because now I'm looking at M3 Beamers, older ones, and I'm still looking at those Alfa Romeos. The quadrifoglio.
M3 Beamers are nice, man. They're my favorite. Which one are you looking at? Which M3? Which one's your favorite?
I don't really know the different. I mean, they're all nice. So anyone.
Mine's the E46.
E46. Tell me about it. Why is that one different than the others?
I just no. Well, it's an older version, obviously. It's I think it's a early 2000s model. And it's I just love the shape of it, the way it looks, the way because I've driven one. I love the way it drives. It's just a beautiful car around.
How expensive? How expensive it is? I mean,
the thing is with those, they're going up in price. Those ones, they're the ones that you buy now, and they keep going up.
You know, it's interesting. You and Captain saying that because, of course, I don't have a car, basically, but I know.
All right, just to get a few facts straight here, you don't have a license either. Is that right?
Exactly.
You don't have a license. Yeah.
But I know that. But I know this.
But he has a bicycle.
Yeah, but I know this from guys that actually collect the supercars. They go to Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Porsche, and all this, and then they come to a position that they started to go down to suddenly vintage Subarus or vintage.
Yeah, because what happens is when you hit your pinnacle of supercars, you get bored of that. It's just something that's, you know, you want to go to something that's a little bit more niche and a lot of people have got, so it stands out a bit more.
Like a Cadillac for the 70s, you know, I mean, that, you know.
Oh, right. Yeah. They go really, really back into the.
Yeah, they go backwards. Yeah, they go back. He's right there because I've seen a lot of collectors do that.
Are you coming to that path soon, Captain, or you don't see yourself going, you know,
for what? Well, let's stay moving that to watches because really for cars, you know, it's funny because I have a 2005. My Porsche is a 2005. So I was looking at and going almost pull the trigger on a 2014, which would be more modern because the older 911s have exploded in value. So they're almost unattainable. It's actually cheaper to get the newer, like the 2014s. The new ones you can't get, and those are even more expensive. So the sweet spot is kind of like where I am, but those are creeping up. So if I'm going to reach and get a more expensive one, I'm going to go from a 2005 to like a 2009 to 2014.
Wow. So you're comparing now basically a
if I went backwards, it would be more expensive. So I do think there's a valid comparison there to watches because I'm going older on some of my pieces. I'm looking for a 1665 Sea Dweller, you know, or what, a 1680 sub.
You know what a lot of people are doing now? Kraft and Taylor made a good video on this, right? Kraft and Taylor made a very good. By the way, your friend Mikey, I'm a big fan of the E30. Anyway, back to what I was saying. What's Kraft and Taylor? I don't know if you guys follow the channel, which you guys should. He's fucking awesome.
It's a good channel.
Uh,
I don't follow it,
yeah.
but I should. I agree with you. I definitely should.
He's great. Anyway, he did a short thing. I think it was yesterday or today. About neo vintage. So what he's saying about neo vintage is he reckons that neo vintage is going to start climbing up in price. The reason for that is they're more durable than the vintage. All right, and they got the aesthetics of the vintage. And if they want, and a lot of collectors are going for that because they're a lot more durable and you can wear and not worry about them. You know what I mean? So they're going to go up in price, which is a good fact. Not a fact, a good.
Yeah, it's talking about 5 digits. Neo vintage.
Yes, 5 digits. Neo vintage. Yes.
Yeah. I shouldn't have sold my 5-digit Sea Dweller, but I just did. So
no, but you've got something that's very special, which is your Coke, and that's on neo vintage as well. So you've done well there.
Thank you. Yeah, I think so. The 80s Beamers. Yeah, those are look, like you said, and then you can get a manual too. So I'm thinking of a manual M3. And I look at Carvana. I know there's Bring a Trailer and there's.
But what year model? What year model? What year are you looking at?
I think they had them in like the like 2000. What was it, like a 14, 2000, 17, 18? Not that old, to be honest.
They're nice. The 18 ones are nice. They're nice.
But then I would kill off the Porsche and just get the M3. That would be my sports car. That would be my fun car.
You'll enjoy it, but I don't think you should get rid of your sports car. Your Porsche.
Wow. How much would be a 911 1984? I mean, this is kind of
84 911. Oh shit! Oh, those are gonna be
serious.
Those would be. Hold on, I'd have to Google it.
They're expensive. They're the air-cooled ones.
10 years ago, you could buy it for $30K or something.
No. Wait, not anymore. I mean, you're talking about one that runs. All right, I'm looking. Shit, they're all over the map. Oh, it depends on the mileage. Condition. Here's one, and you don't know what sites are right here.
How we call it, let's say original condition or taped condition. Let's say everything was replaced and things like that. I don't
fucking know. And the manuals are always fetching more of a premium, but then most of them, I think, in that back then, they were mostly manuals. I think then they started switching over. 71,000.
But then you have
89,000. Bring a Trailer.
Always was manual with the option for automatic. I never thought it was fully automatic 911s.
Well, they have PDK now, so you do have the option, but you don't have a clutch. So, it's still basically an automatic, but you can shift. You could use paddles, or you can use the shift knob. But you're not changing gears. You don't have a gearbox. You're not using a clutch. So yeah, those cars everybody wants because they're fewer and far between. I don't know. I'm not I don't know about the vintage Porsche market. Other than that, it's all going up in terms of 911.
So it means or you have manual that is fully with clutch, or if you have the ones that actually switch, they don't have a clutch. You say so
they don't have a clutch. No.
I didn't know that. I actually thought they do.
Yeah, no. But it's an excellent transmission. The PDK transmission that Porsche, developed is actually shifts quicker than any manual could shift. And it's more like race car drivers today because they're not shifting their own gears either. They're not using a clutch. They're they're using the paddles. It's all like this. Good night. Mike's going away. Good night, Mike. Mike, thanks for joining. Appreciate you being in the chat. Milky oil. Yep, we try to avoid milky oil cars. That's never a good thing. That usually signifies a problem. Oh, Marcelo, I did want to tell you what did I want to say about Porsche? The value in Porsche right now, and it's slowly eroding, is the 996. So the first water-cooled Porsche, but there's some issues there where the engine could fail because of the IMS bearing. So you have a risk with that, and they have the fried egg headlights. So it's still an analog Porsche, but
Right.
it's got fried egg headlights that nobody likes. So aesthetically, it's like the ugly duckling,
You know,
right?
this is interesting for me because you
And
know what? When I
Mhm.
want to buy a watch, I want a nice watch. I don't know about watches. Maybe Patek, maybe Rolex, maybe Omega, and always, when I'm going to buy a watch, when I don't know what I do, of course I'm going to lose 60 or 70% on the resale because I probably bought a schmate, how we say, right? No,
yeah,
not
yeah.
so. On that case, I like when I don't understand much about cars, and almost automatically I would tell you any new car that I buy, I'm going to lose 70%, and you tell me, yeah, with time, suddenly maybe there is a car that I might actually get more money with time, and this is a Porsche. I like that idea.
Well, it's gone up, so you don't know. The car market is volatile, but that has been the case over time. If you buy it where it's at the bottom of the curve, so it's
Right.
depreciated, and then it starts becoming collectible, right? So it goes down, down,
Mm.
down. Now, even the
Mm.
2014s are going up. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you don't even have to
Wow.
go that old. But will that bubble kind of burst at some point? It's hard to say. Like, but new Porsches are over retail, so
Mm.
they hold their value incredibly well. But Marcelo, with a car, you have service costs like a watch, but it's every year. You're getting an oil change, parts,
Right.
service, service costs. You have to service your car, and you pay insurance and registration. So you're throwing thousands of dollars a year on
Yeah.
these cars, no matter what. So it better go up or you break even. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, my car I bought for low 30s, I think. But then I serviced it. Then I fixed this, I fixed this. Oh, the radio's not working. Some of the electric switches didn't work. You're putting in the last service I had, and I went to Porsche because that's where I go. I mean, it was $3,000.
Yeah,
So
but you know
it's a
what?
lot of
I
money
would
plus
listen. It
insurance.
makes sense. And also, when you say yes, and for instance, I can buy a Mercedes for 100K,
Right.
right? I can keep it for 5 or 7 years. I still going to pay the insurance and everything that you pay. And
True.
because my Mercedes is now 7 years old,
It's
I'm
down.
going to
Yeah.
say thank you if I sell it for 25.
Right.
And then
Exactly.
it's like,
Right. No, the
no.
key with those cars is to buy them 4 or 5 years old, and then you
Mm.
still might lose some. You will lose money, but the depreciation is so fast. Look at what happened. Teslas, the
Yeah.
depreciation of those cars were like insane. The Porsche Taycan was like 50% off within 2 years. Nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted it. So it's like, yeah, you're better off coming in after 2 years buying that car. You're not going to sell it. You're not going to sell it for more, but you've already avoided losing 50 grand. So, very few cars appreciate over time, except if, Porsche's one of those cars, and there's some others out there. The M3s, I think, hold well. And now people want those manual cars.
Right.
They really do. So they hold, if they're in decent condition, people want to have the manuals because they're just not making them anymore. The Audi's even like with 120,000 miles still have like a $7,000-8,000 residual value. And the cost of the car new 15 years ago may have been 30,000-40,000. So
By the way, what was the name of that Audi that Iron Man was driving? I think in 2000, I think it was 2014 or something, 2012, right?
Who?
The first Iron Man.
Oh, the Iron Man?
Yeah,
Oh,
the first
you
one.
know who would know? GMT knows Audi because he has one.
Yeah.
He has the
Because
TT.
why I ask? Because that car is basically about the year that you're talking about, 2012, 2014. And the question is how much this would be today, I mean,
Yeah.
would be up or down.
Yeah. Well, people are into that shit. And there's this guy Doug DeMuro he's developed his YouTube channel and his career basically on car reviews, and he's got his own style. He's a very smart guy, entertaining. He created a website
He's
called
Audi R8. Audi R8, the guy.
the R8. He
Yeah.
set up a website called Cars and Bids. So
Mm.
all these cars that are like novelties, you put it on that site and people bid around the country, you know, because they're looking for that particular car. And some of them he'll do no reserve. He said, you know, if you do no reserve, then whoever buys the car, whatever price you're bidding, you're going to win. If you win the bid, you're going to get the car. Because I did an auction, and it actually was for an Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadrifoglio. I did an auction for one of those, and it never met the reserve. So the auction was
with
dumb.
Alfa Romeo. Be careful with Alfa Romeo.
Oh no, I know. They're I know.
By the way, I had an uncle that died in I think it was in '93. He died from Alfa Romeo Spider.
Holy shit! Crashed it.
Convertible Alfa Romeo Spider, brand new that he bought in '92 or '93. He fly. There is to go from Montreal to Miami. You pass through New York. There is a kind of a mountain or something. He fly from there. The car he completely fly with the car. From that moment, all my Moroccan family, they from Canada.
Yeah.
I don't know why they connect the Alfa Romeo Spider to Porsche 911. Maybe because they look kind of similar. The family never bought the Porsche. Also, the family.
Well, listen. I mean, the designs, Alfa Romeo, the designs are really are beautiful. So let me get to Vimal for a second. Thoughts on the Panamera? I really like the design and its practicality, but some purists hate it. I like it. I'm going to be honest. If I needed one car, and you know we're in this SUV, CUV craze, and I have one, and everyone has one, I could combine both of my cars and have a Panamera and be done with it, because it's a great car, great engine. It's a Porsche. It's going to drive excellent, like a lot of Boxsters do, and even those. There's value in the Boxster. There's value in the Boxster and the Cayman. People are now buying those because the 911 prices are so high that now they're saying, hey, I can drive a mid-engine Boxster or Cayman, right? If you want the hardtop, you get the Cayman. You get the, Boxster has the convertible.
The Boxster look nice. I always like the Boxster.
They look, I almost got one before. But then here's the problem, Marcel. It's like collecting watches. People shit on you. So it's like if you get like a great Tudor versus a Rolex, they're going to say you should have got the Rolex, right?
So Boxster is like the Tudor.
I mean, yeah, in a sense it is. It's like the redheaded stepchild, if you will. It's like the poor man's Porsche. And it's a great car.
The poor man 911. The poor man 911.
If you got 4 911s, okay, you can get a Boxster. But if you don't have either and you get a Boxster, be careful, because anyone is going to get on you who is a purist or fucking elitist.
You know what? One thing I can tell you for sure: Porsche drive amazing. And if my uncle would had the Porsche instead of the new Alfa Romeo Boxer, you would be alive.
You'd be alive. There you go. Well, that's not. I'll tell you, that's not a ringing endorsement of the Alfa Romeo Spider. I'll tell you that right now. That's an advertisement to get the Porsche, but plenty of people have died in Porsches too. They've James Dean. It goes way back. He was a famous American actor, and then what's his name? Paul Walker. They both died in Porsche 911s. I think they were both.
But Paul Walker, he was believing that he's still in the movie
Fast and Furious. I don't know if he was. Was he in the passenger seat or was he driving it? I don't know.
He was driving.
All right. Well, yeah, no, these guys just like speed. What can I say? So yeah, I'm a big fan of the Panamera, big time. I love them. And I think they look. I mean, they're just like an elongated 911. They got that bubbly back, plenty of room, and they are such a value. That's because purists hate it, and it's kind of like no one knows what it is or what the value of those things get crushed, just like the Taycan, because they're not a 911.
Yeah,
so
but the car that he had the accident, the car disappeared, right?
No, forget. I'm talking about the Panamera now, Marcelo. We've moved off of Paul Walker. He's dead. God rest his soul. And Panamera, though, the depreciation is huge. So if you buy one of those like 4 years old, you're getting a great car. You're getting a Porsche engineered.
What about Paul
Engine.
Walker?
He's dead.
Are you sure? Are you sure he's dead? Are you sure?
I mean, I don't want to, I'm not mocking anything. I'm not stepping on
Remember, we had,
grave.
what's his name?
I don't want to piss on
Frank
his
Mueller.
grave.
We had the same thing with Frank Mueller. We thought he was dead, but he ended up being alive.
He's still kicking, that Mueller.
Yeah, he's doing
is-
cocaine. He's doing cocaine somewhere.
Right. We were talking about your Alpha. Oh no, your Audi. Which one was it, Marcelo?
The R8.
The R8.
What about it?
That Tony Stark Iron Man drove.
Yes, he drove it. Yes, that's right. Yes.
Okay,
What's the value? What's the value? How are those doing in
What year it was?
the?
Well, you're looking at about 70,000, 80,000 US.
What year? What year it was? 2014.
They started from 2010, I think 8 or 10, something like that.
Okay.
They started, but he came. Yeah, no, actually, no, it was before that. So Iron Man came out in 2008. So yeah, it was 2008.
Okay. So do they have new R8s as well? Do they
No,
continue?
they've discontinued. They did until I think 2 years ago. They discontinued them. Now they're bringing other stuff out.
So the value of this whole collection probably went to the roof now, right?
Not at the moment, no.
Really?
It might be in the future, maybe, but not at the moment.
How about your TT? Did that?
They're
stop?
slightly climbing. They're slightly climbing.
So did you buy it kind of at the bottom of the curve?
Yes, I did. Yeah. But I
That's what
spent
I
a lot of
did,
money
right?
on it. But I did spend a lot of money on it to get it the way that I wanted it to be.
Right.
But that was on me. That was on me. I didn't need to. I just did it for myself.
Right. But any of these cars, we were talking about it before, between service costs, I spent $3,000 servicing my car this year. And I got new tires a year prior to that, 4 new tires.
Yeah,
I
when
mean-
my son blew my wife's engine up, she's got a Subaru Forester, and he blew the engine up. It cost me another $5,000.
So right. So when I look at all the costs that I've incurred since buying the vehicle and the insurance costs on top of it, and then if I sell it for $10,000 more than I bought it for, I still lose. I'm not coming out ahead, right? I mean, you're break even, but still, you get to drive the car.
But it's the
and
feeling
enjoy
that you get when you drive.
It is.
That's the
It
thing
is.
that-
There's no
You
doubt.
know what's funny? You
I
tend
have
to
a
forget
need-
when you haven't driven it for a while.
I have a
You know what I
need
mean?
for speed. I want to
Look.
wrap that car around a telephone pole. No, I don't. But-
Look, Captain. What is nice?
What are you
about
talking about, bro?
no, I'm
Holy
joking.
shit.
I want to go fast, man. I want to
Captain,
drive
what
fast.
is nice about that is if I tell you, listen, I borrow you, I don't know, 200 or 300K for.
Did you say good evening to Robert Wood? He's in the chat.
I would like to get to the chat, but Marcelo never lets me talk to our panelists, to our viewers.
You got to cut him off. You got to cut him off.
I know you gotta say thank you, and we appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in tonight. Subscribe and like the show, and leave a comment and tell us how we can improve the show. I don't really care if I buy a certain car and it goes down in value. True. The freedom of going down the road and a sweet ride from shores to summits. Yeah, that's true. Long drives, scenic roads, and with a nice engine would makes that sound. You don't even need a radio, right? You're not supposed to listen to the radio if you're in a car that you like the sound of the engine, if it's a convertible or what or not, the wind blowing, and just the driving experience alone.
Yeah, but Captain, imagine that you go to a car dealer, let's say a Porsche dealer, right?
Yeah.
You buy a car for 200K or 300K. The
Yeah.
dealer take that money, say, okay, I'm taking this money as deposit. You keep the car for 10 years. You just pay the gas, the insurance, everything.
Yeah.
When you return the car back to me, I give you back the 300K.
Right.
It makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. If not more with some of these new cars, like Ferrari, right? Ferrari is a club, so those tend to be above, go higher after you drive it off the lot. Lamborghini, probably the same thing, I'm guessing. Hold on, let's clarify. Good evening, Robert. So thanks, Robert, for for joining the chat. Bezels. Paul Walker died as a passenger. That's what I thought, in the Porsche Carrera GT. So he had a GT. Yeah, that was tragic. That did not have to happen. The Widowmaker Porsche. The Widowmaker. I think that's the turbo. Is James Dean died in the Widowmaker. Those turbos are insane, by the way. The turbocharged Porsche engines. They put out like 500 horsepower or whatever it is. It's just.
Did you see a
insane.
mental Jack with his car?
I've seen his. What does he have? I've seen his car before. It's
his car is
really
not
nice.
It's not actually real. I mean, he auto-rate the whole car. The car is not legitimate. It's a monster.
Mm-hmm.
It's a monster.
Yeah.
You auto-rate the whole thing. It's like driving a Batman car, like pretend to be a Dodge, but it's not really a Dodge. It's a fucking You have fire in the gazelles.
Anyway, hold on. Let me get to Robert. The back seat in the Panamera is very comfortable. Great family kind of car. It's a family car, and if the driver's seat was super comfortable, like the instrument cluster. It's a very comfortable, luxurious car, but it's also has Porsche engineering and power. So it's kind of has the best of both worlds, and it's large enough where you could fit anything you would want in like these crossovers in that car. So I don't know, maybe down the road that would be a one-car solution.
Do me a favor, you have to visit one day Abu Dhabi and meet the Mental Jack.
Oh, I'd love to meet Mental Jack.
And next to him in the car. You're going to
I'd have to wear earplugs. I'd have to have earplugs. I've seen him when he's driven in the tunnel.
The kick that car have. You're going to freak out. He is worse than a Ferrari, or it's crazy.
It's like a super car, like a souped up engine.
You need to, like a paletta or something. Like it will need to take you this to remove you from the chair. I think you get glued.
Right, you're stuck. I just got. If folks don't know on the chat, I just picked up the Genesis. I picked up a 2024 GV70, and that car's got a lot of technology in it, and it's super. I got the 3.5 liter engine, so it's puts out close to 400 horsepower.
You got more balls than I have. I wouldn't spend that money on that car.
It's a great car, man. I have to tell you, it's phenomenal. And when you go above a certain like speed, all of a sudden the bolstering, the bolstering moves on its own. So I'm driving and I'm hitting, let's say 70, 75, just not locally, but on like a parkway. And all of a sudden the chair on its own, the driver's seat bolsters start hugging me and keeping me, in place, basically, all on its own. I didn't set this up in advance. It's got so much shit. The suspension changes because it's got sensors, so it sees the road like 10, 20 feet in front of you. So if there's a pothole, it softens the suspension. The ride is super comfortable, and the engine I have, other than your Mercedes AMGs and Beamer X3s, it can basically keep up and pass anything. So so far I'm loving it. And it's full leather interior. Like everyone says, the Mercedes and Audi is cheaped out on their interior. And this is Genesis is South Korean, Marcelo, if you know. I don't know if you know. They're like Hyundai's luxury affiliate. I'm seeing more and more of these cars all over the road. I'm seeing a lot of them.
Lucky is not North Korean.
Yeah, I don't think we would allow North Korean cars to be sold in the United States. Congrats, Kat. Thanks, Bezels. And I know your ride, so I hope you're enjoying that as well.
I didn't think so either.
Great car. Great
You
car.
know, you know,
Oh
I
yeah, yeah,
think,
yeah. Hot
I
watcher.
think
Hot watcher.
Skoda used to
No
be
speeding.
actually a Soviet kind of brand back in the day, and then it
Yeah.
became now.
No, you have to obey all traffic laws. But thanks, Hot Watcher. You are correct. Obey only on the track or on the autobahn. AB, I was close to buying a new M5 competition a few years ago. But I decided to blow that money on watches instead. Yeah, it's a tough choice, actually. The M5 competition is like the next level of the M's, right? M3 or M5 competition. That's like a whole different there was the what is it? The X5 or X3M competition is like the high-end trim of the X3 or the X5.
You're talking about BM, right? BMW.
BMW.
I think
Bavarian Motor Works.
M7 is the Cadillac, right? Is like the Cadillac of
Yeah, the M7 is just a larger, version, but all the M cars have the, the M engines. And what is it? The B58 engine is the I think is the engine that BMW lovers all talk about. The B58. And I almost got the what is it? It was the X3 M40 something M40i, something like
and
that.
you prefer BMW than Mercedes?
I've had both. I drove Mercedes for a long time, so Mercedes.
You feel a different. I mean,
Yeah, I think BMW is definitely more of a. It depends. So the AMG Mercedes is kind of equivalent to an M car, Beamer. But if you're just talking about the stock cars, like just the BMW, the non-M, so I guess it's the 300 or whatever they call it, X3M or whatever, X3 or M3, not the M3.
Yeah, that was 300 or 500.
Mercedes is more like refined in a way, like a little more sophisticated. Where BMW, you always have that steering is tight and it's more of a driver's car. So you're feeling the road. You're also feeling the bumps and the potholes. But BMW has always been more of a driver's car, in my opinion. But then the AMG, when I got the AMG or AMG Light Mercedes, I felt it was comparable. I felt they were similar. But I don't know, man. I loved having my BMW. I had two BMWs, my first two cars, and I love the driving experience of the BMW.
My
it's
uncle.
Hard to compete with that.
My uncle in Canada had the. You need to go to 1984, so we go to the I think was M350. You remember that the convertible?
Oh yeah.
The white color. That was cool.
The faster you go, the tighter the squeezes. Like a great woman, the faster you go, the tighter the squeezes. There you go. You got to mix up the speeds,
Boys, I've got to head off. It was nice talking to you. Take care.
You know what? Well, before you jump off, I think that's a perfect segue, Marcelo. No, it's getting late. I have to thank you for jumping on. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Hot Watcher, AB, Robert Wood, Basils. We had Vimal on for a long time. Your friend Mikey. We had Mike the Mistake. We had scrolling up now early on. We had some others. Vimal. A lot of Vimal in the chat early on. I think I got everybody. If I missed anyone, thank you. Patrick with Watch Time. Thank you, Patrick. Pocket Watches, Pocket Watch Time. I think that does it. So we're going to
stay sexy, boys.
Stay sexy. Thanks, Marcelo. Be well. Peace.